Welcome to Flash Tutorial 75, Slot Machine Part 2. It's a follow-up to Flash Tutorial 74, Slot Machine, which I have opened on my computer. I want to open my library, and one at a time I want to do these pull movie clips. And what we want to do is, first of all, we want to select all these frames and move them one to the right. We want to click on that window last frame and pull it to the right. Lock all the layers. Insert a layer. Call it Action Script. Select the first frame. Put a stop in here. S-T-O-P, open close bracket, semicolon. And go to this last frame, insert a blank keyframe, and put a stop in here. S-T-O-P, open close bracket, semicolon. Now we got to do the rest of them, and this is how I suggest you do them. Right click and copy this layer. I'm going to do my next one here. In my case, I'm just going to go down in order as they are in my library. I'm going to select that and paste that layer in. So there's my action layer. Delete that one. And now do this. Move it to the right one. And click on that and move it to the right one. So I'll do the rest of my movie clips, those pull movie clips, and then I will get back. I'll do the last one with you here. We paste our layer, delete the unused layer, select all these frames, move them ones to the right, click on this, get that fuzzy rectangle, and lock the layers. Let's go back to scene 1. And we should not see anything in here. That's the way it should be. Select the top layer, insert layer, Action Script, AS. Open the Actions panel, and the first thing I want to do is declare a variable. So type. VAR turns purple. The variable is called capital VAL, capital SLOT1, val slot 1, colon, number, capital NUMBER. As you start typing it, it will drop down menu will display eventually number, and you can press enter or just type it through, equals 0, semicolon. Now we want some code, and the code we want now is the code that generates a number between 1 and 4. So we can pick one of those first four movie clips for this slot 1. So type. 2 forward slashes, so that means we're commenting this out. It's just a comment, and it says select a random number for each slot. So we're going to select random numbers. This is for slot 1. It's a function, function, turns purple. I'm calling this function get val slot 1. Small g, capital V, capital S, open and close bracket, colon void. Void turns the same color as function. There's an open curly bracket. As you start to type, you'll probably get this closed curly bracket come in. That's for the curly brackets for the function. Inside this function, I'm going to create another variable, VAR. It's called slot 1 number, capital S, capital N, colon, number, turns blue, capital N, equals math period random, capital M, period, small r, turns blue, open and close bracket, semicolon. This is going to generate a number from 0 to 1. So it's a decimal, basically a decimal number. Val slot 1, you can go up to here, this variable, copy and paste it, equals math round, capital M, period, round, small r, that will turn blue. That means whatever we end up with inside of these brackets, round it up. And the first thing that we're going to have is this open bracket, slot 1 number, That's the number we're going to generate. That's going to be between 0 and 1, the decimal number. Going to multiply that. That's the asterisk, which is the uppercase of the number 8. 3 plus 1, close bracket, semicolon. So how this works, for example, if the random number is decimal 1, multiply that by 3, that'll give you decimal 3, add 1, it'll round it up to 1. On the other hand, if you got something up here like a decimal 7, so I'd have decimal 7 times 3, which would be 2.1, add 1, that would be 3.1, and you round 3.1, so that would be a 3. That's how this works. The easiest way to remember it is this number here, that's going to be the lowest number it generates, and the sum of those two is going to be the highest number that is going to be generated with this math round and this math random. So I'm going to have numbers between 1 and 4. Then just to make sure it's working, I'm doing a trace, T-R-A-C-E, that turns blue, open bracket, in quotations, val slot 1, that's just naming it, it's green, is equal to, close quotations, so that'll be traced just as you see it without the quotations, plus, capital S-T-R-I-N-G, this turns blue. What this tells me is whatever's in this slot here, tail on to the end of this when you trace it. So open bracket, val slot 1, you can copy this and paste it, close bracket, semicolon. As I said before, there's the closed curly bracket for my function, and this is what actually calls this function. Get val slot 1, you can copy up here and paste it, open close bracket, semicolon. So when we test it, we should trace val slot 1 equal to, and it should be some number between 1 and 4. So let's test this. We'll see nothing happened in these because they're all stopped, but we'll see a val slot 1 equals to, and it'll be some number from 1 to 4. And there it is. Val slot is equal to 4. Let's just test it again, see if we get a different number. It should be, because it's supposed to be random. Val slot is equal to 3. So that is working. Now what we want to do is turn this val slot, this generated number that we got, into a movie clip instance name. So down here, put in a few enters to get you down here, a couple spaces between them, and type, 2 forward slashes. This says turns random number into a movie clip. We're going to create a variable. It's called holder slot 1, capital H, capital S, colon object, capital O, it turns blue, equals new, that will be purple, small n, space, object, capital O again, that turns blue, open and close bracket, semicolon. This is creating for us a place where we can use like a movie clip to put information in. We can write code on it, and here it is, holder slot 1 is equal to, so this new variable that we called an object, there it is, what we're going to say, equals to, and open bracket, and this is another one of those strings, in quotations, pull W, capital P, capital W, close quotation. That's the first part of the names of all those movie clips, plus string, capital S, that'll turn blue, that won't be seen, but whatever val slot 1 is, and that's what's been chosen up here as a random number from 1 to 4. So open bracket, val slot 1, capital V, capital S, close bracket, plus quotation underscore MC quotation, because that's how we ended all of our movie clip instance names. So what we're going to do is close bracket, semicolon, and we're going to trace that. Trace, T-R-A-C-E, that turns blue, open bracket, copy this, paste it in, close bracket, semicolon. So we're going to see two things happening. We're going to up here trace what the random number was, and then we're going to trace it as if it were a movie clip instance name. And there they are. It's selected number 3, and that part we just did turned that into an instance name. So now we want this now to actually have something take place when we push a button. So go back to the main timeline, select that Windows layer, insert a layer, call it pull, capital P-U-L-L-B-T-N, pull button. So we're going to make a button here. Select that first frame, pull this up out of the way. I'm going to make this 50% so I can see it. I want my button to have a fill of blue and a stroke of black. And right here, pick up my rectangle tool, open the properties panel, and here where we see this rectangle options, see that, open it up, and put this up to about there, around 11-ish. And that'll give us some nice rounded edges on our button. Pick up the selection tool, highlight it, modify, convert it to a symbol, make sure button is selected in your drop down menu, and I call it PULL_BTN. Copy that name, click OK. It's still highlighted. Open your properties panel and paste in that instance name. Lock all these layers. Select the action script layer again. Go way down the bottom after this. Have a couple extra lines. And type PULL, capital P_BTN, that's that button we just made, period. Add event listener, small a, capital E, capital L, that turns blue. Open bracket, mouse event, capital M, capital E, that turns blue. Period, capital C, L-I-C-K, they're all capitals, they turn blue. Comma, and we're going to call this pull. P-U-L-L, and we're going to call this P-U-L-L. So pull, close bracket, semicolon. Here's the function, F-U-N-C-T-I-O-N, pull, that's this one here. Open bracket, event, small e, that turns blue, colon, mouse event, capital M, capital E, you can just copy it and paste it in. Close bracket, colon void, void turns purple. There's the open curly bracket, the closed curly bracket for my function. And in the middle, we're saying this, meaning this being this button where we're at here in time. This is an open square bracket. And what it is, it's the lowercase of the open curly bracket. So open square bracket, holder slot 1. That's that variable we just made up here, that holder slot 1. You can copy it. Capital H, capital S. Close square bracket, which is the lowercase of the closed curly bracket. Period. Go to and play. Small g, small t. Capital A, capital P, that turns blue. Open bracket, 2, as in frame 2. Close bracket, semicolon, and the last curly bracket. When we tell this to run, it's going to create that number between 1 and 4. Then it's going to turn it into a movie clip name. Then it's going to say go to that movie clip, play from frame 2, which will make them tumblers roll until it reaches the end of that movie clip. So let's see if this works. No, there's my, so 4, and 4 I know is going to be a 7. So when this rolls, it'll stop at the 7. And if you haven't done something like this before, you're smiling. This chime is generating a 3, and I know 3 to be the orange. Now we're going to do the same for the rest of the movie clips. So I'll do one with you to get it done. This one's going to be an easy one. First, go copy this, enter, paste, enter, paste. Change this to a, change this to a 2, and this to a 3. So that solves that section. Down here, grab all this from here up to there. Right click, copy it. Couple spaces, paste it. Couple enters, paste it. Now here we got to, up here was dealing with slot 1, now we're dealing with slot 2. So in here, This will be a 2. This will be a 2. Here will be a 2. This one you might miss. This is a 2. This is a 2. And this is a 2. And here, so that's the second slot done. This is the third slot. I'll do that and get back to you. Now, go back to this val slot 2 section, the one we just numbered, and we copied that from val slot 1, where we wanted our numbers to be from 1 to 4. We now want our numbers to be from 5 to 8. So change this 1 to a 5. So the lowest number I'll generate is a 5. The highest number is the sum of them, which will be 8. And down here where your val slot 3 section is, change this 5 to a 9. So the lowest number would be a 9, and the highest number would be the sum of those, which is 12. Let's keep doing this. This holder one. Copy this, right click copy. Couple enters, paste it. Couple enters, paste it. And change this one to a 2. This one to a 2. This one to a 2. And this one to a 2. I'll do the 3. This one's the 3s, and I'll get back to you. Okay, I have that done. Usually I miss some of these, and you'll probably miss some. There's our button. Here we got to copy this line. Right click, copy it. Enter, paste, enter, paste. This would be holder slot 2 and holder slot 3. And if we're lucky, this should work. No errors. And according to this, we're going to call up movie clip W1, W6, and 11. So 1 means a grape should appear here, a cherry should appear here, and an orange here. Let's do another one. Now I can see you smiling. 4 is a 7, so this will be the number 7 in here. This will be an orange, and this will be a 7. 7, orange, 7, I think. That's really good. Let's go back to the main timeline. Select the Windows layer here, insert a layer, and call it symbol, S-Y-M-B-O-L, symbol. Select that first frame. Now what we're going to do is we want to have something in here in these slots when we start. So open your library panel, and let's grab a grape, put one here, grab another grape, put it here, and another grape, put it here. And this one here I want to move a little bit with my arrow keys, and I'm relatively happy with those. You can play around with them. Select them all in one group like that. Go up to modify, convert to a symbol. Make sure a movie clip is selected, and there's the word symbol already there for us. Underscore MC. Copy that name. Right click, copy, and double click on it, and now we're inside of that movie clip symbol. Or you could have went to the library and clicked on the symbol movie clip. Either way, we're inside that movie clip symbol. Call this symbol S-Y-M-B-O-L. Lock that layer. Insert a layer. Call it Action Script, AS. And what we want to do is make sure there's a second frame here. Insert a blank keyframe. So on frame 2 of this there's nothing, and on frame 1 there's that. Select this first frame of the actions layer, and in here stop, S-T-O-P, open close bracket semicolon, go back to scene 1, lock that symbols layer, unlock that symbol layer, select that first frame, make sure it's highlighted, open the properties panel, and in here give it this instance name, SYMBOL_MC, open the action panel, and down here where we have our button, SYMBOL_MC, period. I'm just going to copy this. Copy, paste, go to and play, go to and stop now. S-T-O-P. Now if everything works the way it's supposed to, let's test it. Movie, test, test. No errors, that's good. This is what it generated, so this one should be a cherry. This one's going to be a cherry, and this one's going to be an orange. Cherry, cherry, orange. That worked quite well. I think that's enough for this tutorial. There's going to be one more. It'll be Flash Tutorial 76, Slot Machine Part 3. So if you plan on doing that, save this FLA. I hope you learned something from this tutorial, and I hope you use what you learn.